Hello, thank you for joining Lee County Libraries as we explore And the Award Goes To series. This month, we will be looking at the Pura Belpré Award. The Pura Belpré Award was established in 1996 to portray, affirm, and celebrate the Latino experience in children's literature. The award is co-sponsored by three organizations: the Association for Library Service to Children, ALSC, the Young Adult Library Services Association, YALSA, and the National Association to Promote Library and Information Services to Latinos and the Spanish-speaking, Reforma. 3 medals are awarded annually: one for a Latino author of outstanding children's book, one to a Latino author of an outstanding young adult book, and one to a Latino illustrator for an outstanding children's picture book. The award was named after Pura Belpré herself, who was the first Latina librarian at the New York Public Library. Let's learn a little bit more about Miss Belpré. Belpré was born in Puerto Rico and came to America to celebrate a sister's wedding in 1920. At that time, Pura decided to stay in America and took a job working at the New York Public Library's 135th Street branch in Harlem. As a children's librarian, she brought the folk tales from her childhood in Puerto Rico to the children in New York. When Belpré came back out of retirement, she created a mobile puppet theater so that she could take her puppets and stories easily around the city to share with the children. The Pura Belpré Award, originally there were only 2 awards given out, one for a children's author and one for a children's illustrator. This occurred until 2021 when the young adult category was added. Originally, the award was given as a biennial award every 2 years, but now it is given annually. Winners are announced at the ALA LibLearnX conference in January every year. The creator, Yui Morales, which you see here on the screen, has actually won the most awards. There's 6 Belpré medals and 4 honors across both writing and illustrating thus far. And Belpré herself was actually an Afro-Latina whose Black identity was largely erased and marginalized during her lifetime. So the criteria for a Pura Belpré Award includes several aspects. First, books must be published in the United States or Puerto Rico, and recipients must be residents or citizens of either the United States or Puerto Rico. The books may be written in Spanish, English, or be in bilingual formats, and it must be an original work by a Latino author or illustrator. One person may be selected to receive awards in both categories. For example, winning the award for both the author category and then again for the illustrator category. Any submissions must be written in the previous year, and the deadline to enter is by December 31st of that year. The text may be fiction, nonfiction, or poetry. And in the Children's Book Award category, the book must be intended for children between the ages of 0 to 14. In 2026, we saw 3 award winners, one for children's, one for illustrator, and one for young adult, and we had a total of 8 honor books this year. So starting at our children's books, our children's award winner was the book titled The Pecan Sheller, written by Lupe Ruiz Flores. And the three honor books for children's narration include A Hero's Guide to Summer Vacation by Pablo Cartaya, The Island of Forgotten Gods, written by Victor Pinheiro, and A Sea of Lemon Trees, The Corrido of Roberto Alvarez, written by Maria Dolores Aguia. Our illustrator award this year goes to Abraham Matias for the book Popo the Exolo. And there were two honor books for illustration, for youth illustration. The first is AZ Tech, a bilingual alphabet book illustrated and written by Emmanuel Valtierra, and The Invisible Parade, illustrated by John Picasso and written by Leigh Bardugo and John Picasso. And lastly, in our young adult category, the author Vanessa L. Torres won for the book title On the Wings of La Noche. There were three honor books in the young adult narration category. The first being Rosa by Any Other Name, written by Haley Alcaraz. Alcaraz. And then Silence Voices, Reclaiming Memories from the Guatemalan Genocide, written and illustrated by Pablo Leon. And lastly, The Story of My Anger, written by Jasmine Mendez. Since its inception, there have been numerous award winners. We're going to first look at the award winners in the children's book category. And just as a reminder that the award was given out biennially, starting in 96 until 2008. And then in 2009, it was annually. The very first award in children's book category that was given was to Judith Ortiz Kofer for the title An Island Like You, Stories of the Barrio. A few others that I will mention that you can see here on the screen. We have Esperanza Rising by Pam Munoz Ryan, which won in 2002. Paired in the Oven, Mi Vida by Victor Martinez in 1998. The Tequila Worm was the title winner in 2006, and that was written by Viola Canales. The Surrender Tree won the award in 2009, written by Margarita Engel. In 2011, we have the award winner is The Dreamer, and that was again written by Pam Munoz Ryan. It was illustrated by Peter Seiss. In 2015, the title book I Lived on Butterfly Hill by Marjorie Agosin was the winner. In 2017, Juana and Lucas, written and illustrated by Juana Medina, won the award. In 2019, The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. In 2021, we have Efren Divided, written by Ernesto Cisneros. In 2023, the title book Frizzy won the award. And, excuse me, that was written by Claribel A. Ortega. And then last year in 2025, Carla Arenas Valenti won for the title book Lola. Many of these titles can be located and found at our Lee County libraries, and if we do not have them on our shelves, we can easily get them for you. Let's now look at our past winners in the illustrator category. And again, this was biennial, starting in 96 until 2008, and then annually starting in 2009. So the very first illustrator winner of the Pura Belpré Award was for Chato's Kitchen. The book was written by Gary Soto, but the illustrator that won the award is Suzanne Guevara. In 2000, Carmen Lomez Garza was the winner for the book Magic Windows. In 2004, our illustrator award went to Yuyi Morales for the book Just a Minute, A Trickster Tale and Counting Book. And then in 2008, Yuyi won again for the illustrations in the book Los Gatos Black on Halloween. This book was written by Marissa Montes. In 2012, Duncan Tonatia won for his biography on Diego Rivera, His World and Ours. The title book Dream Girl won in the Illustrator Award in 2016, and this was illustrated by Rafael Lopez, was written by Marguerite Engel. In 2020, we have the Illustrator Award going to Rafael Lopez once again, and written by Margarita Engel for the title book Dancing Hands, How Teresa Carreño Played the Piano for President Lincoln. In 2022, the book Vamos, Let's Cross the Bridge was both written and illustrated by Raul Gonzalez, or Raul III. In 2024, the title book Mexi-Kid actually won the award for both the best for the children's narrative and also for the youth illustrator. And that award goes to Pedro Martin, who wrote and illustrated Mexi-Kid. And lastly, in 2025, last year, the Dreamcatcher won the Illustrator Award. This was written and illustrated by Marcelo Verdad. So let's look now at our young adult narration, a previous award recipients for the narrative, the authors. As a reminder, just that the young adult category was not added as its own category until 2021. So you see a lot fewer titles listed here. So in 2021, the very first young adult narrative to receive the award was the title book Furia, and this was written by Yamil Saeed Mendez. There were a couple honor books as well that year in the young adult category, and they include Never Look Back by Lilium Rivera, and then We Are Not From Here, written by Jenny Torres Sanchez. In 2022, in the young adult category, the winner was Raquel Vasquez Gilliland, and it was for the title book How Moon Fuentes Fell in Love with the Universe. The honor books that year were 1,500 Miles from the Sun by Johnny Garzavia, Somewhere Between Bitter and Sweet, written by Lacanze Kemp, and Where I Belong, written by Marcia Agueta Mickelson. In 2023, we have the book Burn Down, Rise Up, written by Vincent Tirado, was the young adult recipient for the Pura Belpré Award. And our three honor books include Breathe and Count Back from 10, written by Natalia Sylvester. High Spirits, written by Camille Gomera Tavares, and The Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School, written by Sonora Reyes. In 2024, our young adult narrative medal winner was Saints of the Household, written by Ari Tyson. And the honor book that year was The Prince and the Coyote, written by David Bowles and illustrated by Amanda Mijangos. There was a second honor book that titled Worm, A Cuban American Odyssey, written and illustrated by Adele Rodriguez. And lastly, in 2025, the medal winner for the young adult narrative went to Shut Up, This Is Serious, written by Carolina Ixta. There were 2 honor books that year. One was Libertad, written by Bessie Flores, and the second was Wild Dreamers, written by Margarita Engel. And that takes us to the end of our summary of the Pura Belpré Awards. We thank you so much for joining us and learning a little bit more. Many of these books can be found at the Lee County Libraries, where you can check them out with your library card. We thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you and having you here with us next month as we learn a little bit more about the Rubery Book Award. Again, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you here at Lee County Libraries.